Yo, what's happening, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I do hope you're doing well. Really do hope that. Here reporting from sweaty old England. Ooh, the like and subscribe widget has activated itself. The ghosts in the machine are alive. There you go. Like and subscribe. Reporting from sweaty old England with studio lights on my poor body. So if I melt away and perish in this video, remember me hopefully as a nice guy who brought you Chelsea news and reactions to games and all that good stuff, yeah? 6 years plus on this channel, good run. But hopefully I don't melt away and I'll have the opportunity to speak to you about today's subject matter, which consists of Noni Madueke. He wants to go to Arsenal. I love you, Arteta. Do one, mate. Georgie Petrovic to Bournemouth, make a sense, and Mike Penders to Strasbourg, who saw that coming, but notably, we do have a boost for the PSG game, the final. We're in a final, a ruddy final, Club World Cup, lovely stuff, lovely jubbly, loads of money made, more to be made, and a wonderful trophy. I genuinely say that without being sarky. The trophy looks dope. We get to wear a badge on our shirt for 4 years. 4 years. We could dine out on that for ages. You know, something bad happens to us in the season. You know, West Ham beats us. Doesn't matter. Champions of the world for another 3.5 years. But it does seem it's PSG's to lose. We'll speak a little bit about that. They absolutely slapped up Real Madrid. Without breaking a sweat. It looked hot. They broke a sweat. They look like me right now. They were sweating all over the gaff. We'll speak about that as well. So, yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. I do a widget. A lot of you who watch aren't subscribed. So why not subscribe, eh? Let's go. Right then. Noni Madueke. Romano, the big transfer journalist, said Madueke is very excited about the opportunity to join Arsenal. Talks continue. Madueke is an important target and relationship between Chelsea and Arsenal is excellent. That's because we constantly sell them players. Constantly selling them players. The line of communication's open, yeah? You know, they probably like the transfer people probably are constantly on the phone, always on FaceTime or WhatsApp video, talking to each other about what Chelsea players are going to go to Arsenal next. They probably fall asleep just watching each other. Night Bay. Maybe that's a bit too far. Truth is, it never ends. Look, how do we feel about this? I mean, I do feel a little bit like guy is just fucking... Ooh, damn, I swore. Apologies. Damn it. That's a semi-curse word as well. I'm not going to go back and edit this one, so I apologise for swearing. Gosh darn it. I do feel like the guy's ditching us a little bit. I do feel like that. Though, I mean, he's probably not a starter for Chelsea now. We are going to make a massive profit on him. It's good. Like, I guess a lot of Chelsea fans, like, I mean, I don't get so much for him why, like, this is an obvious good move for him in terms of where is he just going to convert his entire play style now to left winger so he can get game time at Arsenal? I don't know, man. It kind of, I mean, it doesn't, if anything, it doesn't make that much sense for Arsenal because they're going to have to pay, even if they get some sort of like closer negotiation value that they want with Chelsea, they're still going to be paying, what, over £45 million. Significant fee for a player that doesn't represent a massively problem position, you know. And Arsenal fans as well, they aren't overly happy about this. And if they are buying him to be played out of position on the left and he comes in instead of they're dreaming about Rodrigo of Real Madrid. If Madueke comes in instead, they will feel very frustrated. If you want to go, mate, you go. Maresca said it himself. Do one. And, you know, maybe not as blunt terms. All right. So annoyed that I swore. Happens rarely. Right, Romano also talked about the final green light is expected from Chelsea soon to sell Georgi Petrovic, some may say our best goalkeeper, to Bournemouth. That's right, Bournemouth replacing a Chelsea goalkeeper with a Chelsea goalkeeper. Kepa Arrizabalaga gone to the aforementioned Arsenal to play backup, giving Chelsea $5 million dues. Actually pounds, about $6.8 million dues or something like that. Which is pretty good, ultimately. Book profit, of course, it represented with the contract extension. Georgi Petrovic will be a profit as well, an actual profit. Of course, we've gone from the MLS. Was it Chicago Fire? I can't remember exactly. He did really well at Strasbourg. He inflated its value. Of course, the talking point here is Chelsea fans saying, well, this should be, we're selling our best goalkeeper. I mean, you might argue Penders is our best talent, but in terms of operations, firstly, this is good. I'm sure they will make a profit on him. It's a good signing. It's kind of an indicator that maybe Petrovic isn't a Champions League level goalkeeper, let alone a title challenging goalkeeper. I said yesterday's video, we're an 8 out of 10 team with a 5 out of 10 goalkeeper. I said, as again, maybe Petrovic is a 6.5 out of 10 goalkeeper. And you can sort of get away with being a good team with a 7 out of 10. But really, you want like a striker. If you want to be the guy, you want like a striker and a goalkeeper to be 9 out of 10s. Do you know what I mean? Because they're such important positions. I do hope, I'm hoping here, that I'm not reacting to any article or news source here. I just hope Chelsea are thinking, yeah, we'll get a goalkeeper. You know, yeah, we'll come back in for Mike Maignan. Oh, yeah, we'll do something. Do you know what I mean? We'll do something. If we win the Club World Cup, we'll treat ourselves. Go and get Mike Maignan for 20 million. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Yeah, surely, bro. And again, I don't want to. It's pointless slagging off Sanchez. It doesn't. We've done our criticisms. We just know what he's a known quantity. It's pointless to be like, yeah, my club. He's a knobber. Do you know what I mean? And all that. So he's one of the boys. Sanchez. He's one of the team. He's doing good saves every now and again. He's often doing silly passes that frustrate us. But the truth is, he won a trophy. He's got top 4. He's got to the final of the Club World Cup as the guy. I hope for him he gets that medal and he can take it to his next club and be very happy with that. Okie dokie. Finally on the goalkeepers, Mike Penders, and this is coming from Sasha Tavalieri, a Belgium journalist, saying that his loan to Strasbourg is getting closer. Let's be real, great loan for the young goalkeeper who's very, very highly rated. Strasbourg not only are a good team now, of course, they finished half the table under Liam Rosinia. They will have Paez there. He's a great player. You know, they got Diego Moreira, the left back. He's very, very good. They got other good players. It's actually quite an exciting time football-wise to be a Strasbourg fan, though I do understand their contention with the ownership. Being a multi-club extension of Chelsea, I totally understand the frustrations. But in terms of footballing isolation, I think there's probably some excitement there. And of course, they are on a European tour, baby. They're playing in the Conference League. They've qualified for Europe. There'll be lots of games. Even if they rotate their goalkeepers, Penders will have presumably the league games and then maybe the later knockout games. Should they... Strasbourg could go deep in the conference. Why the ruddy heck not? Good loan, I'd say. And then maybe he's there for a year. Maybe he's there for a little while longer, and then, who knows, maybe we have Mike Maignan for a couple of years. I just want to quickly reiterate finally on this. Forgive me, because I forget where I heard it from. It was like a podcast or somewhere. I can't exactly remember where I heard it, but reportedly, there's a fear at Chelsea that they don't want to Thibaut Courtois, Mike Penders. And no, I don't mean because he's a Belgium goalkeeper who's similar in style and, comes at a similar age. But we sent Courtois to Madrid for a couple of years. And it screwed us long term because his heart went to Madrid. His kids, were born and lived there. And ultimately, when we brought him back to the Prem, he did win a couple of league titles with Chelsea. Our last 2 league titles, lest we forget. But his heart was never fully in London, and he wanted to go to Madrid. And as soon as he got a whiff, he could go to Real Madrid. He was out of there. So, similarly, you don't want to do something with Penders, I know Strasbourg, he might not fall in love with Strasbourg, but whatever. There's a chance that you don't want him to develop as a young man emotionally elsewhere and build a family elsewhere, then drag him back and his heart's not in it. So just something to think about there. Right. PSG. Yuck. They absolutely slapped about Real. Look, Real Madrid have been poor. They did give away 2 goals. Heck, they let Arsenal bend them over a couple of times mid-season. They're not looking good for a while now, Real. They've got their own problems. Xabi Alonso's there to hopefully turn their fortunes around. If you're interested, I speak about all these stories on the second channel. There you go, Football Yannick. Daily content on Football Yannick as well, where I react to all things on Chelsea, often Real Madrid, Barcelona, Arsenal, Liverpool, Man United, Man City, and all them man. But on the standard, there's this written about the suspensions. Paris Saint-Germain will be without William Pacho and Lucas Hernandez for the Club World Cup final against Chelsea. PSG booked their place, of course. They slapped up Real Madrid. We beat Fluminense. Both sides had to make do without key players, of course. They were without Pacho and Hernandez. We were without Liam Delap and Colwill. However, whilst the Chelsea pair, Colwill and Delap, will be available for the final, the PSG duo will not. Of course, they got red cards. It's been confirmed they had 2 suspensions. I think violent conduct, I guess. Same thing has happened to Nico Jackson for us in this Club World Cup competition. So that's good. I mean, it is good, genuinely. The Hernandez one doesn't really matter so much because we know the first choice fullbacks are Hakimi and Nuno Mendes, so they don't have a rotational fullback there. I mean, they do use them if they're winning. They bring on Lucas Hernandez maybe for an attacker to defend. So it is an important card in the deck of Luis Enrique. But of course, the big one is Pacho, who's got an amazing partnership with Marquinhos at the central defensive partnership for PSG. It didn't cause them any issues against Real Madrid. They kept a clean sheet and scored 4 goals. But it is a slight boost for the Chelsea team. Let's just talk about it a bit more. When the time comes, which will probably be tomorrow, spoiler, I will preview this game properly. But it is worth talking about Chelsea going into this final. We will absolutely not be the favourites. PSG, PSG are ripping apart Real Madrid 4-0. I think had we gone into a game in the semi-final, Chelsea and Real Madrid would have been the favourites. Yes, it's not the best iteration, but they would have been the favourites. Mbappe, Vinicius, Rodrigo, Arda Güler, friggin' that kid, Gonzalo. Yeah, I'm not going to go through the Real Madrid lineup, but they would be favourites. Maybe not massively, because people are starting to respect Chelsea more and more increasingly, but they would have been the favourites. Now, the favourites out of Chelsea and Real Madrid have just been slapped 4-0. And so you'd be like, oh, Chelsea are going to lose 8-0. No. It would have had the adverse effect. It would have been like, wow, Real Madrid gave up a couple of goals. They are in a rut. Actually, Chelsea are probably more of a serious team than Real Madrid right now. That is what I think the fallout has been. Now, let's not talk about Rob Sanchez, for obvious reasons. He's got a good save in him, but, oh my God, PSG have the most harrowing press you have ever seen, and onto the goalkeeper as well. Rob Sanchez making passes out of the back against that front three of PSG. Yucky. But Chelsea have got a good defence as well. We got big boy ballers. We've got Cucurella who can lock down superstars on the flanks. We've got Levi Colwill coming of age. Tosin, Chalobah, very, very in form, looking good. Reece James, he's locked down superstars before. Heck, he'll do it again. Pray to all your respective gods that Caicedo is available, that Lavia is available. Quality options in midfield as well, like, Sugo to come on and shore things up. Santos. And then we've got another leader, and we've got attackers, new attackers. I think we're going to have to play more pragmatically. I will do a proper preview for that game, but the fact how there's absentees on their team is a slight boost. And I just wanted to tell you, I saw that bloodbath and I too am worried. Alright then, so let me know your thoughts, guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for liking and subscribing. Daily content here on the channel. And if, excuse me, any additional news breaks, I'll hopefully be able to react first. So hit the bell notifications icon if you choose to subscribe. And of course, you can always check out Football Yannick, the second channel, for more content Right, enjoy the sunshine. I'm going to go and put some ice all over my body. Goodbye.